Okay, so if, like me, you have got gigs and gigs and gigs of photographs of stars and planets and the moon, and you just can't bring yourself to get rid of them because, well, why would you? You took the time to take that image and you want to keep it for prosperity or to remind yourself of how bad you used to be versus how good you are now. So, what do we do all with all this data? It's scattered everywhere. In this old video of mine, and it is an old video, so please bear with me, I will go through how to set up your own personal NAS system in your own home that allows you to expand the storage and basically back up all your pictures and your videos all in one location securely in your premises at home or business if you've got business, but it's secure. It's not on the cloud. It's not Google. It's not OneDrive. This is your personal NAS drive, and you can copy all your photographs, all your images, all your videos of stars and planets across to it for safekeeping. So let's go and have a look at this video on how to install the DAS. As I say, it's an old video, so apologies. Well, in under 16 minutes, I'm going to take you through how you can install and configure your own secure server at home using recycled IT equipment that you've probably got lying around. In order to be able to do this, you're going to need a drive to install the FreeNAS. In this instance, I've used an old laptop hard drive from 2017. It's lying around, it's not doing anything, so I'm going to use that to install the operating system. Then you're going to need a drive to store the data itself. In this instance, I'm using a 1 TB SSD, which is faster than the laptop drive for my data storage. And you're going to need a USB thumb drive. Okay, so this is there's two options that I'm going to take you through. Both are very similar. One of them is using an old PC, which needs to have a minimum of 8 gig of RAM installed. The PC could be one that you've got lying around, one that you've not used for a few years. It's going to need two SATA connections and two SATA power connections as well. One for the operating system drive and one for the storage drive because they are different. The other way I'm going to take you through this is to utilize a computer you may already have up and running. It could be your main desktop, it could be a different one, but we're going to use a VMware solution for that one. So all we do is install the drives into this computer case, install the thumb drive, turn it on and boot. From then onwards, the prompts and the setup is going to be exactly the same as if we are using the VirtualBox solution, the VMware, the VirtualBox solution, which I'm going to go through with you now. Just make sure that the PC you're using has got a HDMI or VGA. It needs to have hardwired cables in. It cannot run off wireless or Wi-Fi, and you need USB as well. For the using a computer I've already got up and running, I'm going to use a SSD drive that I've got connected using a USB connector to my PC that's up and running 24/7. So we're going to start off. We're going to go to the TrueNAS website. It used to be called FreeNAS, but now it's TrueNAS. And we're going to go down to the core option. That's the one that we want. Gives you the minimum specification on the screen. It needs to be a 64-bit CPU. And then just click that you've already got an account or you don't want to. Download, click stable, and allow that to download. Once it's downloaded, we're going to need another little piece of software. This is called Etcher, or Balena Etcher. This will allow us to convert that downloaded file into a bootable memory pen. So again, if we just download Etcher, this is only a small file, it shouldn't take too long. Okay, once that's downloaded, we're going to run Etcher, we're going to plug in our memory thumb drive, our memory stick that we want to install the boot OS on. Bear in mind, it will wipe everything on that memory pen, so don't use one that's got files on already that you need to keep. Take them off, put them somewhere else, and then do it if you need to. But we're going to tell it what the iOS is, what file it is that we want to burn. So we'll click on Flash from File, and then we'll find our TrueNAS download that we downloaded a few minutes ago. Select where you want to install it to. In this instance, it's my USB device. The other device is the drive I'm going to be using for the VirtualBox. And then just tell it to flash. This might take a few minutes for it to complete. When it does, it'll say flash completed. Okay, now we're ready to start the process. So you can plug it into your computer if you're using a standalone PC, or if we are going to use a VirtualBox on an existing computer, we need to just assign it, and that's what we're going to do now. Before I do that, I will do a quick drive check just to make sure there's no issues with the drive that I'm going to be using for my data storage. So I'm just going to do a quick Windows check on this. Takes a couple of minutes, but it'll just give me an idea if there's any major faults with that drive. It's pointless going through this whole exercise if the drive's faulty. But there's no issues with this drive, so let's get on with it. Okay, so I've already got VirtualBox installed. If you haven't and you want some assistance and help on how to install it, check out my other video on how to install VirtualBox. I'm going to give this session, this virtual machine, a name called NAS. It's going to be located on the C drive. Now I'm going to tell it's a 64-bit Linux. Okay, if you don't select a 64-bit Linux derivative, you will get errors when you try and run the boot file about the CPU not being supported. If you select a 64-bit one, it knows it's 64-bit. I'm going to give 8 gig of RAM, and then it's going to stick with one CPU. It doesn't need any more than that. I've told it to mount the image. Now, this is what the boot screen looks like. If you're using a standalone PC, not a virtual machine, you'll be seeing exactly the same thing at this point. So from now on, both installations are identical. So we're going to go install. I'm going to tell it which drive I want to install it on. Yep, it's warning me it's going to erase our data, so I'm okay with that. It's asking me for a root password. So we're going to give it a password. Okay. Now this is setting up the disk. This may take longer on the standalone PC purely because it will go through the whole drive, whereas the virtual one, the drive expands virtually as you add more data to it. So it starts off small, and as you add more data to it, it slowly increases in speed, in size. So this could take a couple of minutes. Okay, so it's done. It's installed. So now we're going to give it a reboot. And now this will boot off the installed version. Remove the memory pen from a standalone PC if you want, to make sure there's no loop issues, or disable the ISO in the VirtualBox if you want to do it that way again, just to make sure it boots off the local drive and not the boot drive again. You could get stuck in a loop. And one of the benefits of having this NAS is it's in my property. I know where it is. It's not out on the cloud that can be accessed by anybody. It's one of the benefits of doing it this way, and it's faster. It's on my local network, so it's faster, and also I can then expand it as I need to. Okay, so this is now rebooted, but as you can see there, the IP address is a 10 range. This is because I'm using it in a virtual environment. If you're using this on a standalone PC, you will have a normal IP address within your range, usually 192.168. So what I'm going to do to fix this is, because it's using the virtual IP address for the VirtualBox, I don't want it to be doing that. I want it to actually have a physical IP address from the main network so that I can access it from other computers at home. So I'm just going to go down to network. I'm going to change the NAT and I'm going to change it to bridged adapter. Okay, and I'm just going to OK that. I'm going to restart the NAS. Okay, so it's rebooted, and as you can see, I've now got a 192.168 IP address. So that means I will be able to access it from anywhere else at home. So we're going to test this. I'm going to open up a browser on my main computer. This isn't inside the virtual network. This is in the main computer. And I'm going to type in the IP address. And there you go. It's gone to the NAS, it's found it, and now it's asking me to log in with the root username and the root password that I created at the beginning. And that's it. TrueNAS server is up and running and open for business. So we're going to start by making a pool drive. This is a drive that we can store the data on, because at the minute we don't have one. So I'm going to tell it to use the external drive, which is 951 gig. It's warning me that because it's a stripe, as in it's a single disk, there could be a risk of losing that data if that drive fails. I'm fine with that for this. I wouldn't recommend it for critical data. I would say have 2 disks and have them mirrored, so that one backs up the other one. So we're going to create the pool. And this is where our data will start to get stored once we connect to it. So there you go. That one has completed 914 gig of available disk space. So we've got the drive set up. Now we need to share that drive. We need to share it. So I'm going to use a Windows share, an SMB share. Very simple. Most operating systems support this. So I'm going to tell it to create it on the data disk 1 drive. If you've got more drives, you'll have a different one. We're going to give it a name. I'm just going to call this data. Keep the parameters as they are. Give it a bit of a description in case it appears on Windows Explorer. There you go. And we're not going to change any of the other settings. I'm just going to click submit and enable the service. Okay, we are now up and running. So if I open up Windows Explorer this time and I go to the IP address of the server, it's asking me for that login name that we created. Now I have created another one called home, which isn't the root one, but you can create that one. I forgot to document how to do that, but it's nice and easy. Connect to it, and then there you go. You can now start creating folders and copying documents into those folders across the network. You can access it via wireless because it's connected to your home network via cable. It's connected to wireless as well. And yeah, that's it. All done. Under 15 minutes, we have created our own private data store where we can store our videos, our documents, our pictures, our important things, photographs, movies, whatever you want to store, you can store on it. So I'm just going to very quickly copy a file onto it just to test it. So I'm going to copy the ISO file from my local drive onto the NAS, and there you go, it's uploading. So that works absolutely fine. So there you go, under 15 minutes, you have now got your own NAS drive up and running. Enjoy it. it's worthwhile, and it gives you that little bit of confidence that your important files are backed up somewhere. So, as I said, we've used recycled hardware. We've got computers lying around maybe from years ago. We've got a centralized storage area for your personal data. So you can put everything on there and you know where it is. It's all in one place. You haven't got to remember what memory stick it's on. It's going to be easy for you to expand that storage as and when it grows. So if you want suddenly start storing a lot more videos or music, you can put in another drive and just expand it. And again, it's easy. It's as simple as plugging it in, creating a new pool, creating a new share, and that's it. And you have got control of your personal data. It's not out on the cloud. It's not on Google Drive where Google can scour through all your personal documents and try and pull out bits of relevant information they want to market on and so on. It's all in your control at your premises. So there you go. As I say, I have got another video on how to install the VirtualBox. So if you're struggling with that, go and check it out. And I'll see you in the next video.